to a YouTube channel near you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition. How's everybody on this cold Friday night? Jennifer, how are you?
Cold.
What do you mean you're in New Orleans? How are you cold?
It's 45 flipping degrees here.
Oh, that's storm weather. Come on now. What are you talking about there?
We also have single pane windows and no weather stripping.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome, Kathy, Roger, Rita, Michelle, Griff, Eric, New Orleans. New Orleans, that's you. Nigel, Rita. Welcome, everybody. So if you have a case, or a code case, or something in the area that you want us to look at, ladies and gentlemen, send it in. We'll look at it and review it and see if we can put it on our channel and go from there. So tonight we're talking about which case?
This one is Chance Anthony Carson. I mean, I sort of regret taking it, but not really, because I thought it would be kind of cool to get something that had almost nothing.
Right.
To really let the panel just like go for it. You know, we'll see, because there's not going to be a whole lot we're going to be able to necessarily validate. So this is going to be just kind of an interesting, like last week, you know, how they all, like there were a lot of similarities in what the panel got. So this is going to be a real interesting experiment too, where we won't necessarily have the stuff to validate it, but are we still going to get a lot of similarities like we did last time? So I thought, well, let's just get something with like nothing and see what happens. Hey, Michelle. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Now this one is a travel case, you said, right?
It is. He is a Native American. He is a member of a tribe near OMAK, Washington State. So the tribal police and the local authorities are all working, along with the FBI, are all working on his disappearance as well. And he disappeared last February 28th. So it's actually a pretty recent case for sure. But he was last seen on the Colville Reservation, which is, you know, where he probably resided. And they know nothing. They think that he got in an altercation with two individuals before he disappeared. And he was reported missing. He was last seen February 28th. He wasn't reported missing until March 15th. So it's over 2 weeks.
I wonder why the long delay.
I wonder too. According to the Charlie Project, so please, if this is inaccurate information, you can blame them. Under medical conditions, it says Carson has a history of substance abuse. However, the news reports do show that the authorities, or do report that the authorities do think foul play was involved. So, hey, everybody. We've got a couple short news clips, but just not much. So if anyone's in the Washington State area, if you've heard of this, it'd be interesting if there's anything we're not seeing, because they even looked at the tribal website, the tribal police website, and there's nothing. There's nothing more.
All right. Well, I'll start out with my news clips and we'll go to yours, okay?
Okay. Make sure they're not the same. Cool.
And let's see here. Action.
The Seattle FBI office is now offering a $10,000 reward involving the disappearance of a man out of OMAK. This is Chance Carson. Agents say he was last seen on February 20th and reported missing from the Colville Reservation March 15th. The FBI says foul play is suspected in his disappearance after it was reported that he got into a fight with two people. Carson is about 5'9". He weighs about 180 pounds, and he has tattoos on his chest, left hand, and right arm. If you know where Carson is, call the FBI or the Colville Tribal Police Department.
Look how different those two pictures were.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so that's an indicative sign of DOCs.
Yep.
And here's the other one that I found. That's strange.
The search is expanding tonight outside of New York City for the gunman who shot and killed the CEO of Minnesota-based United Healthcare.
Well, we're learning new details tonight about NY.
All right, Jennifer, you're up.
You know, I'm going to start by showing, you're talking about differences of images. I'm going to show you the thing from the Charlie Project, because here we go. Look at these pictures. They're so different.
Yeah, Brian. So anytime it's a travel case, and the travel police have priority on the investigation. So yes,
investigating agency
does make a difference. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then that's their investigating agency. But the pictures are very, very different, and different weights as well. But I've got some.
Well, once again, that's a sign of a transition when somebody's on something, right? You can see the transition, how they go through it.
They typically gain a little weight back when they. Here's my YouTube here that I've got.
Searching for a missing Washington man and suspect foul play in his disappearance. A reward of up to $10,000 is now being offered for info on the whereabouts of Chance Anthony Carson. He was last seen on February 20th in OMAK in north central Washington. He was reported missing on the Coville Reservation back in mid-March. The FBI says that they got into some kind of fight with two people before his disappearance. If any information about where he might be, please contact the local FBI office. The FBI.
Now, I'm going to make this statement.
Yeah.
And all parties are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. This is for entertainment purposes only. And we got to always hit this little banner here, which Mary's fixing that with her new intros. Voila. Now, I'll say this. It's interesting how the media and the police is showing one picture compared to the other pictures. Because that one picture is an indicative picture of him being a what?
I'm not following.
One picture compared to the other picture. What's the difference between the two pictures they're showing?
Facial hair.
Well, one looks like a gangster, and the other one looks like he's a tribal Native American.
Yeah.
Catch the difference?
Yeah. But I mean, well, yeah. And you also kind of think, I mean, people that haven't shaved in a while, if they do, they probably look young, very young too. But yeah, I see where you're going with that.
Yes. Ask Leonard. Leonard will tell you. He's been around law enforcement all his life in court cases. Mm-hmm. I mean, you think of all the people that's been in trouble with law enforcement in law, what do they do when they go to court? They clean up, don't they?
Yeah.
They don't want to look gangster anymore, not in front of a judge.
And it's interesting. None of them report that he has any history, but I guess that of issues with law enforcement, but it would be tribal, wouldn't it? For the most part.
So tribal is not accessible by public records as it is by other cases.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
Right.
That's another interesting part of this, is like the difference between tribal authorities and local law enforcement too. Which keeps it kind of interesting. I've got one last video, but honestly, it hasn't said anything else. The other two haven't. But if we want to look at it just to see,
go ahead. Let's pop it up.
That we're using, and keep on that thought. Let's see what they use, because I've watched so many.
Howard with this nonstop local update. And the Washington State Patrol is hoping that you can help them find this man. He is 29-year-old Chance Carson, who was last seen about a month ago, February 19th, by his family in OMAK. He was last seen in the area of East OMAK wearing jeans and a dark gray sweatshirt. He is 5'9", 155 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes. If you see him, if you know anything about his disappearance, WSP asks that you call 911 right away. I'm Corey Howard. Stay tuned for more nonstop local updates.
Okay, so February 19th, February 20th, I wrote down the 28th. That was just my poor eyes. Contact the FBI, call 911.
Wow, this is a short case.
So who's in charge? If you call 911, that's not going to tribal.
No, so usually with travel, and if I misspoke, I'm sorry, but usually they have an outside person that will transfer the information to travel.
Okay.
An outside contact. So I've never worked with travel because not in our area of the United States we have that right. I'm just going off what I know from past experiences, but that's probably what it is. Sorry, I had to cough. But community courts are great. They keep it out of the system, try to keep you back on track. Yeah, Michelle, that is true. Travel court usually in travels, they do keep their stuff, like Eric says, hush, hush. They don't air their stuff out like we do in newspapers and courts. But, I mean, Jennifer, that's all we have. I guess we can just go ahead and wrap it up and submit it to the panel and get them prepped for next week.
And I think it's going to be interesting. Let's see what they get. How many similarities? That's why I would pick something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a case in your area or a friend or a family member that has been in missing or a cold case, submit it to Jennifer and us or the Bigfoot Outlaw channel. We will review it. Or if you're going through, your court cases or anything like that and want to submit a case, please submit it to us. We'd be more than happy to review it on our channel and maybe air it and go through it. What do you think, Jennifer?
I think that'd be perfect. How do they submit it?
You can submit it by submitting it to you directly on Facebook or to me, or you can submit it to Grizzly the Paranormal at gmail.com or grizzlyisonline@gmail.com. And we always have our information at the bottom of the screen. So yes, please do so. We greatly appreciate it.
Right. Well,
and
thank you guys, we'll see what happens.
Everybody have a good night. Don't forget, we got a show coming up with Brian Barber at 9:00 p.m. and from coast to coast around the world, everybody. Godspeed. We'll see you on the next show. Bye-bye.
YouTube channel near you.